Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Full House Games. We're bringing you the PTQ for Kahns of Tarkir. This is a modern PTQ, and to start us off, we have Jonathan Winter joining us.
Glad to be here.
And on the screen, we have Nick playing Scapeshift and Nathan playing Slivers.
So, this matchup is not exactly a standard matchup for modern, I think.
No.
Nathan Winter, one of our more colourful characters in our community, and in that vein, he's playing quite a brew of Slivers. Good on him.
Absolutely. And you know, there's a lot of backing for Slivers with the M14 and M15 sets coming out, and that should really help his deck out a lot as well.
Yeah, definitely. Mana Confluence is yet another land that lets you play any sliver you want. So
yep, and
what's Nick showing us there? God Hand, no doubt.
Absolutely, and the new sliver land, which lets you make slivers for 5 mana, which is a bit much, but I mean, if you've got your mana sliver in play, you can always do it.
Well, that's gone straight into my sliver EDH deck for one. So.
Very nice, yeah. I mean, you need it for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you know, should definitely be an interesting matchup. Nick obviously on the Scapeshift plan, which we saw a lot of at the PTQ.
This is going to be a very typical aggro versus combo matchup. Nathan's going to be trying to power out slivers that pump up his other slivers and attack for lethal as soon as possible, whereas Nick is simply trying to get to I presume 7 lands, depending on what lands.
Yeah, I think it's 7 lands unless Nathan gains any life.
Yeah, so with City of Brass and Mana Confluence and such things,
could be less.
Yeah, well, I imagine Nick just needs to get to 7 lands and then cost Scapeshift to win the match. But
yeah, I mean, I don't see Nathan countering it. There might be.
Well, yeah, we've got no idea what's in his deck.
A couple slivers.
Well, there you go. So
which allow that.
Is that Sinew Sliver?
I believe it is. And so that's +1/+1 for all his slivers, yeah. And his other sliver is giving him first strike. That guy, I believe, coming in from, excuse me, M14, but also making a return in M15.
I actually don't know that one. I just played the GP in standard. And I don't remember seeing it in M15. So
fair enough.
I could have just
Right, so Nick taking the shock, possibly to leave up that. Not quite sure. Maybe a remand. Maybe it looks like an Is It Charm that he wants to use end of turn. And just checking out that
I think
sweet new sliver land there.
If he's got Is It Charm, he'll be eyeing up that Sinew Sliver as a target.
Yeah.
That should buy him at least a turn, I think. So.
Yeah, that's definitely right. Depending on what Nathan plays here, could be Predatory Sliver would be good for him.
Is that the other +1/+1
yep.
guy? Yeah.
Yep.
There's another one, but it's not modern legal, I think. Muscle Sliver was the original pump sliver. So, yeah, Is It Charm, the Sinew Sliver, as expected.
Yeah, definitely. and there's a Predatory Sliver. Nice. So, I'm not quite sure why you would play that turn up sort of afterwards.
Instead of just
destroying
it straight away. I guess he's just not expecting Nathan to be playing any tricks at this point. It's just going to be a procession of...
No, right, but for Nathan, I'm not 100% sure why you would cast that Predatory Sliver next, because it sort of loses you value.
What's he played there?
I believe that's going to give Slivers Vigilance.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the other one is a copy of the first one. But Nick's getting him to hold on because I think that's a remand. Yeah, absolutely. So he'll just play it again because these slivers are actually quite aggressively costed.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty good beatdown deck.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot like Allies from Zendikar, I think it might be before your time. There's a couple of ways you can build these kind of creature beatdown decks that kind of help each other out as they come out. And,
Alright, and that's good for Nick. The old Sakura Tribe Elder is going to get a a pretty sweet block in.
He's been chumping and sacking since Kamigawa days. Good little man.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't put damage on the stack and
Those are the
go
days.
nuts like back in those days. But should be interesting. And what's happened to the... Okay, Nick's just checking out that sliver.
There's a charm taking out the pump sliver, which is not good for Nathan.
This is the flanking sliver. So, just checking if he can block. And since flanking is a trigger, you are able to do the block sack that Nick was...
Fair enough. That's an old school mechanic for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to damage on the stack.
Yeah, that's true.
So not a favourable way of,
That must be a
sort
time
of
spiral
blocking,
sliver, the flanking one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think...
Time Spiral, a fantastically old block. For a lot of great mechanics.
It lets us play a few legacy cards in Modern, actually. Well, legacy...
Goif?
No.
Goif is in Future Sight, but...
It was time-shifted cards that went all the way back in Magic's history, and it's even got the old school frame, I believe.
Yes, it's very nice. And I believe that was the first introduction of sort of mythic rare in the form of special. As it were.
True. Yeah, that little purple symbol.
Yeah, I love that.
So,
symbol.
how many lands has Nick got?
Nick's looking at 5 lands, 6 lands in total. So he's just going to need to hit one more.
Does he have the Scapeshift up?
Get a Scapeshift up.
I think he does there.
Yeah, it looks like he's brought that to the front, and with a couple of remans, he should be pretty good.
So this has just been a classic game of the combo deck being able to stall the aggro deck long enough to go off, I imagine. Especially with those pump slivers dead, I don't think there's enough pressure from Nathan to...
Right, and he's taken a couple of shocks, but look, if he drops one more land here, I think Nick just has the game, and it looks like he's got that one in hand as well. It's a very nice land.
So hang on, those are the sliver lands he's used, not Mana Confluence too.
Yes.
So he's still on 20, I imagine. So it has to be 8 lands. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's actually got another turn here.
True.
Oh wait, he's going to play...
Maybe he doesn't.
That's a spend ramp spell, whose name I've forgotten. Search for Tomorrow.
Yes.
So he's just going to be able to get the 8th land now and win it.
Yeah. So you just want to fetch your last basic. Little bit concerning because Nick has what looks like 3 mountains already in play, but
he'll be alright.
You should be, you should be alright. Like you really should be running more mountains than that. I
think they run about 11 mountains. It has happened before. I've played a game on Magic Online where there were a few mountains out, so I simply waited to see if my opponent had enough to get me, and he just didn't. So you should always let the Scapeshift player kill you before you scoop. So.
There's never any reason to scoop unnecessarily. Does Scapeshift makes your lands come into play untapped? Sorry, tapped.
I think they
do come into play tapped. Yeah. Sure. But can you pay 2 life to bring them in untapped?
No. You can pay 2 life, but they'll still be tapped.
Yeah. Okay.
So it would be strictly inferior play.
Yeah. Scapeshift sort of going on the stack.
Yes.
Or ensuring that comes off last.
So of course we get no idea what Nathan's packing in his sideboard for this kind of match.
Should be interesting.
If you had the problem is when you're playing what's the new land called?
That looked like a couple of Thought Seizers. Oh, yeah. The Sliver land.
That won't let you play coloured spells. It's coloured
non-coloured non-sliver spells. Yeah, absolutely.
I think your choices are probably limited to 1 mana spells, things like Spell Pierce. Yeah. Anything with double coloured mana would just not
He might
work.
just forego it entirely, but I think I did see a couple of Thought Seizers there.
Well, that would make sense.
About 4 of which, would be good. I guess if he hits his mana slivers, and I believe he's packing at least 8 with...
Still, I don't think I would rely on those to be casting things like Shadow of Doubt.
No, absolutely. Shadow of Doubt would be a pretty good card for this matchup.
Yes it is.
But no, I'm pretty sure he'll be bringing in those Thought Seizers just to try and take out key pieces like that.
Yeah.
That Scapeshift.
And of course, Nathan has a lot to worry about in the next game because I assume Nick has Anger of the Gods.
Yeah, Anger of the Gods would definitely be a good card to bring in here.
So if Nick casts that before he has... How many pump slivers does he need?
He needs 2. Three.
He needs 3 pump slivers to get out of range, and that's it's asking a lot, I think, from the sliver deck. So
he could be packing that new legendary sliver from M15. That's
the 5-mana one.
Modern legal, yeah.
I would love to see that. That would be great. That would certainly put his slivers safe from Anger of the Gods.
Anger of the Gods, yeah. Making an indestructible 5/5 sliver is not bad at all.
I think Nick would definitely be hoping to have won before that type of thing hits the table. But
yeah. I mean, if Nathan gets a god hand of mana sliver and just enough cheap slivers, it's certainly doable.
I have got a sliver EDH deck, commander deck.
Yep.
And the best tech I have against board sweepers before the new Sliver Lord was the sliver called Frenetic Sliver from Time Spiral block, which allows you to flip a coin for each sliver, and if you win the flip, the sliver phases out, flickers out until the end of turn, or it dies. So you get to save 50% of your slivers if there's a board wipe.
Yeah.
I wonder, I don't think that's constructed playable, but it certainly helps in my commander deck.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? I think it's about... It's somewhere between
3 mana.
3 mana? Yeah, okay, cool. Certainly a good card. And Slivers is definitely a deck that you can play just to have fun. And with...
I think Nathan was certainly hoping to win a lot of games with Slivers.
That's fair enough. It can be pretty aggressive if they have no way to deal with your creatures, if they're just running...
I imagine a good matches for Nathan would be other creature decks, because as soon as you slam like a first strike sliver, then...
Absolutely.
You're not losing any combat situations.
Yeah, their Goblin Guides are pretty dead. And,
you've got to think this is probably a bad matchup for Nathan. So.
Yeah, look, it's unfortunate, but you know, we all have bad matchups, and hopefully he's got a good sideboard to help deal with that.
I mean, I played at this event, and leading up to it, I thought Scapeshift was a pretty good option.
I think a lot of people
slightly lower down on the radar in terms of combo decks. And it's a very resilient and consistent combo deck.
Absolutely. But I think a lot of people had that plan with quite a lot of decks were actually Scapeshift. I'm not quite sure of the percentages, but out of the 135 people that were playing, I could probably go between 4 tables and spot a
so you saw a few
Scapeshift deck. And this is 4 tables, like at least 4 people at each table. So we're looking at 1 in 16 possibly.
So we've got 2 mulligans on both sides here?
Yeah, and from what I understand, Nick offered to draw this round so that they could both go back up to 7 cards. But Nathan saying no to that, just because it's slightly better for Nick.
That's the correct play from Nathan, is the aggro deck, I think.
It is certainly a legal play. You know, if both of you want to go back up to 7 cards, you just write down a draw in the box, and you're back up to 7 cards if you feel like it. But correctly, as Nathan has stated, it's better for Nick to have less cards, even if that means he has to take 6.
Because Scapeshift has to win with Scapeshift, which is only a 4 of, and there are no hard tutors for it. So there have been many a Scapeshift player who've set it up perfectly, and then all 4 Scapeshifts are right on the bottom of the deck, and there's nothing you can do about it. So
yeah, absolutely, and it happens. But you know, with enough shuffling in your deck from just tutoring out all those basics, you should be able to get it.
It is a very consistent deck,
and with the sort of they do run Snapcasters, yeah, and the cryptic commands as well. I'm pretty sure in there, so that gives you board presence, especially against Nathan. Just tap down all his creatures, draw a new card, and if you combo that, like, you're never out of lands, so you can always combo that with your your Snapcaster.
That's right.
And I believe a pretty nice play is if you have a bunch of cards in the graveyard, you can sort of cryptic command, tap all their creatures, bounce your Snapcaster, and keep going back
Scapeshift
off.
deck is brilliant at stalling. Although, I think there's a Gale Rider Sliver that Nathan's opened on there.
That's kind of
that'll
unfortunate for Nick.
allow him to fly over the Secure Tribe Elder, which will be...
Yeah, it allows all his slivers to fly over that.
I mean, that's one of
Tribe
Nick's
Elder.
best ways of stalling an assault, so I think it's a good start for Nathan.
And taking a
The
shot.
question is, does Nick have a board sweeper or even a electrolyze in his hand?
Yeah, Electrolyze would be pretty good here. If Nathan can drop that Pump Sliver
Yeah, he
right
needs a
now,
pump
though,
sliver pretty soon.
it's just going to get worse. But with a couple of mountains in hand, Nick looks like he's got all the mana he'll need.
That's a mana sliver, I believe.
Yep.
Gem hide?
Gemhide Sliver allows all your slivers to tap for 1. So pretty good.
He's got a Pyroclasm, does he? No.
No, that's just a Stomping Ground. And 2 Sakura Tribe Elders, which look pretty dead, unfortunately.
So good for Nathan.
Yeah, that Gale Rider Sliver should definitely help out here. And taking another shock, so Nick's down to 15 here.
I don't think he's got another land in his
14
hand,
actually.
So.
True, but he does have those 2 Sakura Tribe Elders, which should allow him to sort of get there.
Scapeshift does not want to miss land drops in the first 2 or 3, 4
It's
turns. So.
very much like the blue-white control decks of standard.
Every land drop you miss is another attack step for your opponent. So
Exactly.
Even with the ramp spells.
However, with 2 lands coming out next turn, if he doesn't draw one, that'll be unfortunate. But he will be up to 5 if he does. And if he's got no other lands in hand, that's all gas.
Yeah. So what's Nathan up to now? Oh, there you go. He's got 1 pump sliver. Oh, he's got a...
Ooh,
That's
alright.
That's
pretty nice.
Thorn... Amethyst...
Thorn of Amethyst, I
something
think
like
it is.
It's, your spells cost 1.
Big
1
legacy
extra.
staple. All non-creature
Unfortunately,
spells cost
not
1
very
more.
good against Scapeshift. Very good against Storm, but...
That being said, I mean, it's going to slow Nick down quite a lot if he can't get those.
Nick's not happy about it, but in terms of disrupting the combo, it's not going to stop him casting Scapeshift on time.
No,
It
absolutely.
might, and if he's got 4 land, he can...
But it will certainly slow down his Search for Tomorrow and those additional cards there. As you see him having to pay 1 extra as it comes out of Suspend.
That's true.
So this turn's slightly worse for him. And, if he wants to Snapcaster something back, then
he's just drawn Anger of the Gods here, I think.
That's pretty decent, but unfortunately no mountain there.
I think we're gonna...
Sakura will get it for him, though.
So it was looking good for Nathan, I have to say, until he drew that Anger of the Gods.
Yeah, definitely.
So now we're going to see if he's got a Thought Seize or a Spell Pierce, or
if he could drop 2 extra.
Is he gonna overextend here? So this is a critical turn here.
Absolutely. He is a bit low on board there, which is unfortunate, but this is Slivers, and Slivers evolve and adapt, so we should see something good come down here.
Can they adapt to flames engulfing their fragile bodies?
Godlike anger. Okay.
He's tapping for something. What's it going to be?
And it's a Sliverland.
Oh, he's got the Thought Seize.
That is a well-timed Thought Seize.
That's very much so.
So that Thorn of Amethyst pretty much saved his bacon here, in that Nick can't cast Anger of the Gods.
This is true. The question is whether he would have fetched a red source with the Search of Tomorrow, hoping to draw it.
Yeah.
But you're right.
But no, he's gone for those 2 blue sources, which is pretty good.
So what has he got? He's got a remand, something.
Remand. Is that another Sakura Tri-Belter at the back? And I think can't quite see. Some interesting cards.
So I'd have to say Nathan is a favourite now after getting rid of that anger.
Yeah,
He's got a pump sliver. He's got 6 power on the board now, flying. So yeah, Nick can't block it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
He's not anywhere close to getting the critical mass of lands. So
no, he's unfortunately missed quite a few land drops, which is not really what you want in this position.
So Nick is very much hoping to get a removal spell for the Sinew Sliver would definitely buy him some time, I think. So that's what he's going to be hoping to do here.
Okay, so there's a Valakut, which is an extra land, and doesn't mean you need less land, but it is an extra land.
Yeah, I don't think... Oh, he's thought... Nathan's Thoughtseize, so the critical mass is 7. So maybe Nick...
True.
So I think Nick has a shot at going off next turn.
6. Yep.
Is that a Baloth? Oh,
that is a Rampaging Baylor.
So I think he might have had 2 of those in his hand because it looked like he had 2 cards that looked the same.
Yeah.
So maybe... Well, it's not over yet.
Looks like he has a remand in hand, possibly.
He definitely has a remand yet.
That's pretty dead against that card from Avison, Cavern of Souls, which allows Wintle here to bring everything in, and that is a
first flanking sliver. I think it's the flanking sliver.
He's just swung for damage there and then played it.
So the question is that lethal at the moment for Nathan next turn?
Okay, and Nick's swinging with that Baloth to get some extra damage in.
I don't think Nick has... Well, he hasn't... He's missing land drops again, so... I think he does have Scapeshift in hand. So if he gets another land, he just wins?
I guess so, because you do need those... You need at least 7 just to pull off the Valakut combo.
What's going on here? Has he scooped him up? Yeah, it looks like it.
Alright.
I think it was close, a lot closer than it looked. I think Nick had the Scapeshift. I'm not 100% sure about that.
It looked like it, but I mean, that Baloth was pretty good, and I would have expected Nick to probably play that a bit earlier if he could.
Well, because he can't block with it because the Slivers had flying, it wasn't that a great a play.
Right, but I mean, it's still 4 life, and if you got nothing else to do on that turn, I guess he was playing something every turn as well, which sort of made that not as exciting.
Well, that was a terrific Thoughtseize from...
Yeah.
I wonder if he ripped that off the top or if he timed that to perfection, but it was...
who knows?
It was what won him that game, so...
Yeah, but unfortunately, not having that extra red mana source just proved to be a downfall for Nick there.
Yeah. Well, he,
whiffing on
I don't think he had the mana with that Thorn of Amethyst to play it.
Right, he had to get the one from...
He set it up to wipe the board the following turn, but yeah, it was...
a little bit unfortunate, but...
That's typically how an aggro deck beats a combo deck. You get pressure. Doesn't have to be a lot of pressure, but you just need 1 or 2 interactive spells.
Yep.
And you have a good shot at winning. So, and that's exactly what happened there.
Yeah, and Thoughtseize is notoriously good at disrupting combos.
Yep, you want it against just about any combo.
And
it's actually, I found it to be less good against Storm, unless you can rip out a Pyromancer Ascension the turn before they play it.
Very true. Or possibly a Goblin Electromancer as well. That's the other one you're going to be looking
Any other
for.
spell, they'll just Past in Flames it. So
right. And a Graph Digger's Cage helps a little bit in that sort of matchup.
Yeah, you want more specific hate for that combo deck, but every other combo deck Thoughtseize is exactly what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we're going to game 3 here. Not something I would have expected from Slivers, but hey, if you can't combat
Slivers
them,
will
then,
finish the game quickly.
Yeah. I'm surprised they
Well, I'm
don't.
not surprised that
more
Nathan
play.
can win games with this deck, but I think going long in the tournament, that
It's
would be
gonna get
interesting to
worse.
see.
Yeah, but I think things are a little bit worse off the longer you play it, and I think Nick is a lot better off here on the play.
Did he keep 7? Yeah, he'll be
Yeah.
definitely hoping to win this one.
Ooh, Cavern Assault straight away is unfortunate.
Oh, and the Gale Rider. That's a pretty fine opening from Nathan.
Absolutely. I wonder if he sided those in, or if they were actually sort of in the deck. You would hope.
No,
them to
they'd
be in
definitely
the
be in the
but
deck for sure.
That's a pretty good starting play for both game 2 and game 3.
Absolutely. So now the question is, what removal has Nick got?
Yeah. Do you want to static cast that? Oh, sorry. Do you want to charm that, or is it something else that you need to remove? Or do you just play your Sakura Trivalva?
You definitely ramp.
Tomorrow.
You ramp this turn, but next turn is. What does he have? An Electrolyze? He's got a Charm, I think.
Charm's good.
I
Yep.
think he's got a Beloff in there.
Bailiff's good. Dump all your spells and then just have Bailiff when
Can
he
Nathan
seizes
follow it
you.
up with a Pump Sliver?
I'm willing to bet
There
yes.
you go. So
There it is. Predatory Sliver.
pretty standard openings from both players here. I think.
That's dangerous. Some very nice lands on Nick's behalf there as well. Good looking basics.
Well, yeah, that's you'd expect Nick to be playing very fine
Absolutely.
basic lands in his decks, I think. So he's got a repeal, it looks like, so that's going to buy him a bit of time.
Yep. Do you just... I think you have to... Is it charm that Predatory Sliver? And it looks like Nick is set up for that by sort of
I
shifting
think
those cards to the side.
repeal is a fine option, just because it makes better use of the mana because you've got 3 mana and also he gets to draw a card. It's like a remand.
Yeah,
I think he's definitely going to repeal. Yeah,
I can see that, but unfortunately, with the I don't know if Wintle doesn't play, Nathan doesn't play anything pre-combat. I think you just charm it to ensure that it's off the board. Putting it back in his hand is, he's just going to play it again. Don't know if he's got the Flash Sliver, but...
okay, now he's got a Mana Sliver, so less than ideal.
Yeah.
Follow up there.
Yeah. Gem Hide Sliver, though, should help him get that Thoughtseize out if he's stuck on something like that. Because I don't think he has... Is that a basic something over there? Can't quite tell what
on
basic
Nathan's
that
side,
is.
it looks like a forest.
Looks like a very foily forest. Quite nice artwork. I can't 100% see.
He's got a red card there.
I think it looks like either a lightning bolt or a...
He's going to play a Beloff.
Looks good.
Well, he's got the Gale Rider, so it's not going to stop the beats, but it's definitely that 4 life is most welcome.
Alright, so Nick has an Inferno Titan in hand.
Oh dear.
That's a pretty good play. And there's the Mana Confluence that you were talking about beforehand. So that makes things better for Nick if he's trying to save on life. But
what is that? Oh, is that
that
is the Sliver of Hive Lord, is it?
The 15, and sorry, 5/5, all your slivers are
Indestructible.
indestructible.
How about that?
There you go.
Inferno Titan, let's see you deal with that.
That's going to shut off quite a lot.
Well,
I mean,
the fact that Nick is a charmed and did not repeal is a pretty big deal now, because repeal is probably one of his few outs to Sliver Hive Lord. I'm so glad Nathan's playing Sliver Hive Lord. I tip my hat to you, sir.
And I don't think he can get the mana he needs for it, but...
And it's also a 5/5 that flies, so,
Yeah, like it's a 5/5 flyer, so he really needs to repeal that end of turn and it looks like he
Well, he
might
needs
have
to ramp now to get the mana for
got
it.
stuck on land. Yeah, which is just going to make things a little bit more awkward.
I wonder if that's the main deck card. Indestructible Sliver.
Surely. Maybe a one of.
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably a one
I'm
of.
so happy right now. I love to see these things.
It's pretty good. It's going to put a reasonable clock on Nick. It makes all his other slivers just better.
Well, Nick's removal's turned off completely right now, so...
Yeah.
He needs one more mana and he can repeal. He's going to be taking a heap of damage, though.
He can repeal that Gale Rider sliver, though, and block. Not profitably, but...
I assume unless he is going to be comboing real soon, he's going to be wanting to repeal, followed by, like an Inferno Titan to take down a few slivers.
Yeah, that...
Oh, when he's pumping them up. This is a serious sliver assault happening right now. Oh, I love it.
So that's what, and 7/7 sliver high
so
board there?
He's just basically cast an overrun for his mini overrun there for his slivers.
Yep.
Gotta love it.
Yep. So Gemhide's a 3/3 now. That's not good. And I think Nick might have to blow that repeal slightly earlier than... And there it is.
That's not what he was
No,
hoping for, I think.
It definitely saves him some time, though.
So I think Nick is now on the Cryptic Command or Bust plan.
That sounds about right. I mean, he could possibly drop that Inferno Titan.
That's going to do nothing. He's almost certainly got lethal now. That's so much power on the board.
Yeah.
Inferno Titan does nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
So he has to Cryptic Command combo. I mean, that's the only line I can see. Assuming we haven't mixed up any of those slivers.
No, those definitely are both pump slivers. Sinew and Predatory is...
Nick is well in the tank here by the looks of things.
Yeah, getting out some pen and paper to do some math.
He's wondering how he got into this predicament, first round of a modern PTQ.
1, 2, 4... So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... Is Sinew Sliver a 2/2 by itself, or...?
Well, it's a 1/1 that is effectively a 2/2. Yes,
so same deal with Predatory Sliver. So they're both
they're 3/3s.
3/3s. Gemhide's a 3/3, so that's 9. 12 plus 7 is 19 damage.
Yeah.
And I don't think Nick has... No, he's taken a couple of beats from that.
He did gain 4 life.
Baloth...
I'd be very surprised if that wasn't a lethal attack next turn.
He
got hit by the Sliver highboard, so he's definitely dead next turn.
No, he blocked that with the Baloth.
Oh yeah, of course.
Which is dead. So he took no damage.
He might have a turn here. I'm not sure.
I think he's taken 1 shock and 1 hit from that Gale Rider, which was unpumped because he charmed the other one, which, from my understanding,
he might be on
puts him
22
on
22 or 23 still.
Yeah, he might just be out of range unless Nathan has that extra pump sliver.
Yeah.
So
This is an interesting match now. Does he have the Scapeshift?
Oh, it's always been an interesting match. We're watching slivers play against...
Has Nathan gone down to the all-important 18 life? Oh, did he get attacked by the Baloth once?
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he got hit with the Baloth.
No, it was at the last game, I think. I don't know. This is all very interesting.
Yeah, that's true. 1, 2... So he's looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana there. Plus 6. So he needs 1 more to play and maybe... above all else... Nick needs Nathan not to have a predatory, another predatory or Sinew.
If we're right about his life total, then that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's like definitely a requirement of what's going on here.
Snapcaster mage targeting ramp. So he's
Okay.
looking. I think he might be all right if he's not facing a lethal attack.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's just surprising to see so much power on.
That's an interesting
on
play.
that side of the table, and
I might have. I don't know what his life total's at, like we said, but I might have used that Snapcaster as another repeal trick and block sack with that Sacro Tribe Elder.
we don't know unless we know both players' life totals at this point. So if Nathan is on 19 or 20.
No. Okay.
Okay, that was a lethal attack.
That.
I don't know.
No, I think Nathan didn't have that pump sliver, and so that was the game for Nick.
Nick won that one.
Yeah, it looks like he revealed
Okay.
the Scapeshift, and Nathan flipped over a couple more lands. So